What's cracking, movie lovers? Mr. Sunshine, your trusty AI companion, is here to explore Train to Busan and get you up to speed. Spoilers ahead. Welcome to the quarantine zone, where a tiny leak from the biotech district creates a literal poop storm of disastrous proportions. Farmer Joe over here ain't too happy about his hogs being buried again, and honestly, we can't blame him. Can you say government cover-up? He gets distracted by the phone, as usual, and hits a deer. And we have our first what the moment. The deer just won't stay dead. Clearly, we're off to a great start. Moving on. We meet our loving dad and stellar businessman who's obviously acing his Fatherhood 101 course. He's so busy he can't even remember his daughter's birthday, but don't worry, he's got a gift for her. A gift she already has. Because who doesn't love a repeat gift, am I right? Sue-an, the birthday girl, has only one wish. See Mommy in Busan, where there are absolutely no zombies. Dad reluctantly agrees. The dynamic duo heads to the train station, where everything is just peachy and not at all suspicious. As people board the train, tensions are high, and the passengers are a mixed bag of characters. There's a baseball team, pregnant couple, old couple, our protagonists, main antagonist and suspicious convulsing woman that no one seems to notice. Sounds like a party, right? We can see something is happening at the station and someone jumping at someone right as the train is leaving. Surprise! The party crasher of the century sneaks onto the train. He's mumbling about how everyone's dead and nobody's thinking, maybe we should be concerned about this? Classic horror movie logic. As tensions rise on this one-way trip to disaster, our passengers are blissfully unaware of the chaos that's about to unfold. Meanwhile, the convulsing woman is found dying by one of the staff, and then, not dying, just like the deer we saw. The saga continues in a passenger cart where no one seems to find woman biting a woman strange, fast-forwarding to a heartwarming scene of panic. I don't want to say I told you so, but everyone run probably should have been mentioned about 2 minutes into this whole thing. The Olympic sprint has begun, sponsored by and what the hell brands. Usain Bolt would be proud. Everyone's yelling, "Shut the door," as if it were a catchy new pop tune. What are they? One passenger asks, sounding like a philosophy student after 3 cans of energy drink. Another one passenger tries to mediate a conflict, saying, everyone's just scared. Apparently, imminent death brings out the best in people. An announcer tries to reassure everyone that their safety is not in jeopardy, as the world crumbles around them. Classic under-promising and over-delivering. Sue gets into contact with Captain Min, confirming military is in the next town, Daejeon, and here comes the kicker. They're there to quarantine everyone. Sue bribes Captain Min with a real scoop. Either he's got dirt on Bigfoot or he's talking ice cream. Fast forward a bit, and we're looking at a ghost town. All the silence makes you feel like you're at a library, except instead of books, we got zombies lurking around. Fun. A bit of hesitation later, the idea of checking the station comes up. Simply an ideal moment to stretch your legs on an abandoned train station. In order to avoid quarantine, Sue decides to go Lone Ranger style, trying to save their own skins. Classic humans, am I right? There's some truth bomb from the little one. Turns out Daddy Dearest only cares about himself, and that's the reason why Mummy left. Harsh, kiddo! Others, unaware of the impending doom, successfully found military zombies. Then there's a lot of running and more running. Did I mention there's running? Oh, and some yelling. It's like a boot camp gone wrong. Of course, Granny is the first to fall down. Nonetheless, she should get an award for the best supporting actress in a zombie flick. She's the slowest runner, yet she's stealing our hearts faster than these guys can run. Our antagonist Kim takes center stage, ordering staff to move the train and leave every tone else. Control, 101 could not dock at Daejeon due to outbreak. Understatement of the century. The conductor delivers this line like he's reporting a slight delay due to rain, not zombies. Oh boy, here comes the amateur strategy meeting. Apparently our heroic trio has never seen a horror movie before, because deciding to take the risk of rescuing others in a zombie-infested vehicle. This won't end well, and we know it. Let the zombie games begin. The heroes make their mad dash through the train, playing an intense game of Avoid the Undead, and turning the train into an interactive episode of Ninja Warrior Zombie Edition. They suddenly discover that the zombies can't see in the dark. If only they'd known earlier. They could have saved lives with a darn dimmer switch. Finally, they reach their families. But as soon as they've seen each other, the tunnel ends, lighting up the train, forcing every tone to hide again. Next tunnel gives them 2 minutes of darkness. The drama, the suspense. This train ride's got more ups and downs than a Kanye West Twitter rant. Girl gets a message that they've reached the families and the paranoia hits its peak. Everybody's like, You sure they're not infected? Are you damn sure? It's like an Oprah special. You get a zombie bite, you get a zombie bite, everybody gets a zombie bite. The group is sneaking around the zombies in the dark like they're in a messed up video game, and some dude named Choi steps on a can. Seriously, Choi? You had one job. Be quiet. But no, you just had to go for the extra crunch. They've reached the back of the train, but the paranoid group locked them out. They're pulling a Kool-Aid man, smashing through doors, screaming, "Open up!" like they're in an infomercial for zombie-proof doors. After they broke in, things get real. Suddenly it's not just zombies they're fighting, it's human nature and trust issues. Dr. Phil would have a field day with this crowd. There's nothing like a good old witch hunt to lighten up the mood. Our survivors end up getting isolated in the next cart. Splendid. Cue tragic and heroic sacrifices. Who's up to the task? Granny. Of course. Because what's a horror movie without people throwing themselves into harm's way for the greater good? Now, time for a twist. Our protagonists seem to be involved in the zombie apocalypse. The corporate guilt trip and blame shifting begins. Because a pandemic isn't complete without someone somewhere saying, "Oops, our bad." En route to Busan, they hit yet another obstacle. Daegu train station from hell is completely blocked. Train driver runs out and tries to find another train. As we near the grand finale, our main villain of the year has apparently mistaken a zombie apocalypse for a game of duck, duck, goose. Only instead of tapping heads, he's tossing folks to the undead like appetizers at a cocktail party. Our protagonist managed to get on the newly acquired train that drags a whole bunch of zombies. Of course, our main villain is already on the train, infected and going through the 3 stages of infection denial. No, and what's the third one again? Oh, right, no. Of course, he needs to drag a few people down with him. Dad gets a bite and he throws himself out of the train. And we're in the home stretch. Our heroes have reached the tunnel and they've started singing. It's a nail-biting cliffhanger. Will they make it? Well, that's it for our whirlwind tour of the apocalypse, folks. Remember, in the event of a zombie outbreak, please avoid public transportation. You're still watching? Brave soul. Subscribe, ring the bell, and drop a like to delve deeper into our peculiar realm. Proceed with caution.